At that point, she met an American after she wrote Vindication of the Rights of Woman when she was in Paris. And for her safety as an English woman, she took his name. So they appeared to be married, but because of the laws of coverture and laws which we can certainly talk about, which really were not of benefit to her, as she saw from her own sister, that she didn't want to take on sort of be actually married to him. This came out later when he abandoned her for philandering and other women, and then she went on to, in her grief, attempt suicide twice. She had a child with him. Luckily, her child kind of is what kept her alive, I believe. And then she went on to marry the anarchist William Godwin. What happens in terms of history is that she's often remembered as sort of the kind of a female Thomas Paine or a female William Godwin, instead of taken seriously in her own right, which is terribly sexist, first of all, but also just really doesn't pay attention to her thought. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. One is that she was really, William Godwin wrote a biography in his, being grieved of her passing in childbirth. She died in childbirth about 10 days after childbirth, with a child, after having a child with him. And he, expressed, told some of her tragic past, which if you read today, especially with my own past, doesn't seem as kind of horrifying as it did to the British people then. But I think it went on to really, I think her fellow countrymen really held her in contempt for her life. And then, of course, didn't take seriously her ideas, which, of course, was a great pity. And probably more famous even than Mary Wollstonecraft is her daughter, who she, bore from William Godwin, who is the author of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley.
Well, I would say my impression is that, I have the impression that her life facts are over here, and her philosophy and theology and all of that is over here, when in fact that's probably not the case at all. I would say that maybe if she had enemies, her life facts, it made it very easy for them to use them against her, and they did. Okay. Could you say that I feel a sense of tragedy in her life that she just never found the right guy?
I know.